You carry a weight that others do not seem to notice, a quiet, persistent ache that whispers you are not quite right, that you are in some fundamental way incomplete, perhaps even broken. You wake with it. You move through your day with it. This sense of inadequacy, this feeling that you must be fixed. You look at the pieces of yourself, the parts you have been told are too much or not enough, your sensitivity, your quietness, your tendency to see the cracks in the things everyone else celebrates. And you have come to believe that these are flaws, that these are errors in your design that must be corrected, managed, or hidden away. You have spent so long trying to reassemble yourself into a version that the world will finally approve of. You have read the books. You have tried the methods. You have listened to the endless advice on how to be better, how to be more, and how to be normal. You have tried to sand down your edges, to quiet your depths, to perform the role of the person you are supposed to be. And yet, after all this effort, the feeling remains. The exhaustion is profound. It is the exhaustion of a lifetime spent apologizing for your own existence. The exhaustion of trying to explain a feeling to people who have no language for it. You look at your own reflection and wonder, why am I the only one who feels this? Why is it so easy for everyone else and so hard for me? This is the core of your pain, the belief that you are a problem to be solved, but you are not. You are simply observing a world that is obsessed with solving the wrong problems. Look around you, listen. What do you hear? You hear the noise of the sleeping world. It is loud. It is insistent. It is profoundly insecure. This world is built on a frantic performance of wholeness. People are not people. They are collections of opinions they have been given, ambitions they have been assigned, and fears they dare not name. They gather in groups to confirm their collective illusions. They gossip, not to share information, but to draw the boundaries of their tribe, to decide who is in and who is out. They complain, not to solve problems, but to reaffirm their status as victims or as righteous judges. Their conversations are scripts. Their smiles are masks. Their goals are hollow trophies, acquisitions, titles, and the approval of other sleeping people. They are desperate for meaning, so they chase after the most meaningless things, fleeting validation, temporary status, and the distraction of the next urgent, unimportant task. This sleeping world has a very strict definition of what it means to be healthy or fixed. To be fixed is to want what they want. To be fixed is to believe what they believe. To be fixed is to never, ever ask the questions that you cannot stop asking. Their wholeness is a brittle, shallow thing. It depends entirely on not looking down. It depends on everyone agreeing to pretend. And you are the one who looked down. You are the one who cannot pretend. And so you have begun to do something very different. You have begun to retreat. This is not a retreat of fear. It is a retreat of clarity. You are the awakened archetype. You are the one who has seen the game and has quietly placed your pieces back in the box. Where others lean in, you pull back. Where others raise their voices, you find stillness. You have stopped explaining yourself because you have realized you are speaking a language they do not wish to understand. You are no longer interested in winning their prizes. The need for recognition, for applause, for a pat on the head from the crowd, it has simply fallen away. It has been replaced by a quiet, simple need for authenticity. You observe them. You see their frantic energy, their desperate need to be right, and their terror of being alone. You see them perform for each other, and you feel, not judgment, but a great, deep tiredness. You are no longer angry at the game. You are simply no longer willing to play. Your silence is not emptiness. It is a fullness. Your retreat is not a weakness. It is the drawing of a sacred boundary. You have stopped trying to fit into a world that seems to you to be profoundly, deeply unwell. You have stopped believing that their definition of normal has any claim upon you. This is the first great step. The turning away from the noise, the turning toward the real. But this is also where the sleeping world becomes the most dangerous, because you have stopped playing. You have become a mirror, and in that mirror they see everything they are terrified of. They see the emptiness of their own pursuits, and so they must find a name for you. They must give you a label. They call you broken, They say you are too sensitive, too quiet, too intense. They say you think too much. They diagnose you from a distance, with all the unearned confidence of the profoundly asleep. They see you step back from their games, and they call it avoidance. They see you refuse to chase their illusions, and they call it giving up. They feel the depth of your perception, a perception that makes their own comfortable narratives tremble, and they must give it a pathological name. You must understand this. This is the critical turning point. Their labels are not a diagnosis of you. They are a confession of their own limits. When a consciousness of a lower resolution attempts to describe a consciousness of a higher resolution, it cannot use the language of deeper or clearer. It can only use the language of wrong or sick. Your authenticity is a threat to their performance. Your quiet truth is a mirror that exposes the frantic falsehood of their lives. They look at you and they see the very things they have sacrificed in themselves in order to fit in. They see the vulnerability they have armored over. They see the depth they have paved. They must call you broken to protect their own brittle illusion of wholeness. They must call you too sensitive because they have built a fortress of numbness. They must tell you that you need to be fixed, because if they admitted that you are, in fact, simply different, the entire foundation of their consensus reality would begin to crack. The label is their defense mechanism, not your identity. The shallow water cannot comprehend the deep ocean. It can only label it as a void or a danger. You are not inadequate. You are simply in a different element. You are not broken. You are simply uncorrupted by their specific kind of illusion. So, let us discard their clumsy labels. Let us put aside their fearful diagnoses. They are irrelevant. Let us instead look at what is truly happening. Let us look at the marks of a soul that is not broken but is, perhaps for the first time, truly beginning to waken. This path has left you with what feel like wounds, but they are not wounds. They are openings. Let us call them the 3 great truths of the authentic soul. 1. What they call inadequacy, you must learn to call receptivity. The sleeping mind is not open, it is a fortress. It spends all of its energy filtering reality, deflecting anything that contradicts its beliefs and projecting its own stories onto the world. It is rigid. It is adequate only because it has drastically reduced the amount of reality it is willing to engage with. You feel inadequate because you have no such fortress. Your mind, your soul, is open. You feel things. You feel the unspoken sadness in a room. You feel the dissonance between what people say and what they mean. You feel the immense, crushing beauty of the world, and you also feel its profound, arbitrary pain. This is not a flaw. It is a high-fidelity perception. You are not a broken instrument. You are a finely tuned one. They are playing simple notes on a drum, and you are a violin, vibrating with every subtle shift in the air. The adequate person has built walls to feel safe. You have no walls, and so of course you feel the wind. But to feel the wind is not to be broken, it is to be alive. 2. What they call broken, you must learn to call uncorrupted. The world mistakes armor for health. It mistakes the hardened, dead scar tissue of conformity for being fixed. From the moment they were born, they were taught to build a shell of agreeableness, a shell of ambition, a shell of identity, a shell to protect them from the judgment of other shells. You feel broken because you have refused, at some deep unconscious level, to build that same shell. Or perhaps you tried, and it never truly fit. What you are experiencing as brokenness is the raw, undefended, vulnerable state of your original self. It is the soft, living tissue of your realness, exposed to a world that celebrates the artificial. They are whole in the way a plastic statue is whole. You are broken in the way a seed is broken when it begins to sprout. The breaking is the beginning of life. Their wholeness is the end of it. Your vulnerability is not a sign that you are flawed. It is the sign that you are still miraculously real. 3. What they call the need to be fixed, you must learn to call the yearning for your own center. You have this persistent, aching feeling, a feeling that something is missing, a deep yearning. The sleeping world has told you that this yearning is a symptom of your brokenness. It has told you that this is a void that you must fill with things from their world. Fill it with their approval, fill it with a partner, fill it with a better job, fill it with their 5 easy steps. Fix yourself, they say, and the yearning will stop. This is the greatest lie. That yearning is not a call to be fixed by them. It is the call of your own authentic nature. It is the compass of your soul, pulling you back to yourself. The ache is not a sign of sickness. It is a sign of health. It is the force of life itself, trying to guide you away from their noise and back to your own silence. That ache is your wisdom. It is your guide, and it is telling you this is not your world. This is not your way. Come home. This path, this coming home, has a cost. You must not be naive about this. To accept this new, true diagnosis of yourself, to accept your receptivity, your uncorrupted nature, your yearning for center, is to declare a quiet separation. Living by this truth will be lonely. When you stop playing their game, you are no longer a character they recognize. When you stop speaking their language of complaint and ambition, they will only hear your silence, and your silence will make them uncomfortable. They will misunderstand you. They will think you are arrogant, or that you are sad, or that you have failed. They will try to save you. They will offer you pathways back into their noise. They will be confused and even offended when you gently refuse. To be authentic in a sleeping world is to be a ghost in their machine. They will look right through you because they are conditioned to see only the shells, only the performances. This is the loneliness of the reframe. It is the cost of your integrity. You must be willing to be misunderstood. You must be willing to feel the solitude that comes from no longer belonging to a world that you have seen through. But let me ask you, what is the alternative? To return to the performance? To betray your own soul just for the comfort of being understood by those who are asleep? To spend the rest of your life in a crowded room, feeling utterly, profoundly alone in a way that is far colder? No. The loneliness of the authentic path is a warm, living solitude. It is not an emptiness. It is a space. It is the sacred space you have cleared, a space where your real self can finally breathe. It is the quiet of the mountaintop, which the people in the noisy valley below can only call desolate. They do not know the view, and so you must give yourself permission. This is not a permission that the world can give you. It is a permission you must take. You have permission to stop explaining yourself. You do not owe anyone a defense of your own internal compass. Your reasons are your own. Let them be confused. Their confusion is their path, not yours. You have permission to be quiet. You do not have to fill their uncomfortable silences with noise. You do not have to have an opinion on their dramas. Your stillness is your sanctuary. You have permission to disappoint them. This is the great one. You have permission to fail their expectations. You have permission to not be the person they need you to be, not the person they remember, and not the person they demand. Their disappointment is a reflection of their own attachments, not a measure of your worth. Every time you disappoint them in the name of your own truth, you are choosing yourself. You are healing. You have permission to walk away from the argument, from the job, from the room, from any person or situation that demands you be smaller, that demands you be less real, that demands you be fixed into their version of whole. You have permission to sit quietly and simply be, to be in your inadequacy, to be in your sensitivity, and to know with a stillness that is deeper than all their noise that you are not broken, that you are not flawed, that you are in this very moment complete. And that is your journey. If this path of returning to truth resonates with you, I invite you to subscribe and turn on notifications that we may continue to walk together in deeper understanding. So let the world spin on its axis of noise. Let them play their games. Let them chase their phantoms and polish their masks. You have other work to do. Your work is to be still. Your work is to listen to the yearning that they mistake for a flaw. Your work is to protect the sacred, uncorrupted part of yourself from their frantic need to fix what they cannot understand. You are not a problem to be solved. You are a truth to be inhabited. The feeling of brokenness was never a symptom of your inadequacy. It was the pain of your own authenticity, trapped inside a performance that was never yours. Let the performance end. Let the striving cease. You do not need to be fixed. You do not need to be repaired. You do not need to be made whole. You are whole already. You were never anything else.